Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&Chew Guy, and this is the number 3 dry snuff review, nasal snuff. And in this entry, we will be taking a look at, as you just saw, a toke product which is marketed for the United States, silver dollar. This does stand out a little bit because this will be the first, and I'm not talking about the name, what I call a coin package. All right, so let's take a look at that package. Everything is fairly self-explanatory until I get to the part with how you get the product out of it. Okay, so toke, which was the last review, was toke peach. Toke markets silver dollar in the United States. It is a little bit sketchy, but it can be found. It is a product that they specifically make and have made for a number of years just for the U.S. market. It is different to American dry snuff products that it is finer. All right. However, I do find it a bit coarse. It is a medium grind, but it's a coarse medium grind. So this, I call these coins. So they look like, let me see if I can get, they look like, from this angle, they look like a can. Okay? But they are not a can. They are actually a tap box, which was that thing that you tapped out on your hand. So what they have here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get light to register it, they have on the side a hole in the outer silver, which is part of the lid. Okay? The edge, upper edge here, is textured, and so is the bottom edge, this black rim. All right? So you're going to be turning, and I can't even see. Oh, that's because I'm already there. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to register, but this whole top will spin either way freely. But you turn it around to an opening. I hope you can see that. I'll do it again. Okay? And that opening is what you tap out. All right? So with this stuff, it's a light brown body. Okay? It is a little bit darker, in my opinion, than the toke peach, which sort of had a orange hue to it. Okay? It is lighter, though, than the Gadwith product I did in the first review. Now, to get by the coarseness of the grind, I'm actually going to rub this out. All right? People that are familiar with pipe tobacco are going to see me using the same sort of terminology. And I have had a number of pipe people come in recently. That's not why I'm doing this. It's just the best way to explain it. So it's a little bit coarse. I was originally wondering if I should move this down the list because it was coarse enough that every time I took it, I started sneezing. All right? And a lot. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pinch it, and I'm warming it to take it this way. I'm actually going to just rub it a little bit longer to sort of grind it down more finer than it already is. Pipe people will know the terminology because when you get flake tobacco that comes in like miniature sheets, it's flake, you have to rub it out to break it up, and that's also why some pipe tobaccos are called Ready Rub, because the company does it for you. Anyway, so I'm going to just pinch it, and I'm going to work it in my fingers. And I could actually feel grains of that were larger than the rest of it. A lot of it's powdery, but there are grains that you can actually feel when rubbing your fingers together. So now that I've made a mess of my hand here, and there's no way that I'm going to be able to get this into two little piles, I am going to pinch to take it, which is sort of my preferred way anyway. And you know what? I think I may take a little bit more. That's how sure I am of the process I just did. Now, with these, you want to get a basic idea of where the opening is. And then closing it right off to the side of that opening, you tap down low, okay, to make sure it's settled. And that's going to be a big thing with people that are new to this. You got to be careful about how you're opening containers and how, if you're outside, wind will be a factor, breathing on the product. It depends how dry it is and how fine the cut is, but they are considerations when dealing with this stuff. So I'm going to pop out a little bit more here. Sorry, I'm not getting everything great on the camera here. I'm still trying to get used to the angles of doing this. I had thought I'd stand up and do these, but that really wasn't working for me either. Okay, so. Okay, and that should do it. You will also notice that I am using spittoons during these reviews. And the reason for that is that if you do sniff too hard and get an idea that maybe it's hit the back of your throat and is going to cause a drip, you may want to, whatever that drip is, spit it out, all right? In general, it's not going to burn your throat like, let's say, chewing tobacco, but in general, having any tobacco product in contact for any length of time, elongated length of time, in contact with your stomach lining is probably not a good idea, no matter how small the amount. So I usually do, if I get a drip, I usually do spit, okay? Now this product, it is coarser than European counterparts, okay? It can be rubbed down though. Had I not rubbed that down or rubbed it out, I would have been sneezing right off the bat, guaranteed. So it is coarser than its European counterparts, but it is made by an English company, and it is finer than its American counterparts, which there is still some discussion as to how the American ones are supposed to be taken. You probably will see me no time soon partaking in any of those, because I've heard bad things. That, and they sell them in really large containers. Like they sell them in these like 3-ounce containers and higher. It would be like a lifetime supply to me. Anyway, this is a very light, natural scent of vanilla. Okay, it's not going to bowl you over. Okay, it's not going to be like Fred's Choice Chew from Stoker's, okay? It's not in your face. And a lot of these, that's going to be the way a lot of these are, okay? Especially the ones that are not mentholated. It's not a taste, all right? It's a sort of scent essence. I sucked that second one up a little bit too far, and I am getting a drip. That's why I'm... But it's a nice vanilla. It's a very, if it wasn't for this slight coarseness of some of the grind, this would be what would be referred to as an all-day snuff. But because of that grind, I'm going to have to say no. It's just a little bit too... If you don't rub it out first, which then gets on your fingers, and you have to try to get it off your fingers back in the pot. It's just, it didn't look like a big process, but it's not the ideal thing to have to be doing every time you take the stuff, because really, depending on the size of little bump that you're taking, really, I mean, you could be doing this every 10 minutes, Anyway, it's not a big deal, but it's something that could be avoided altogether with another product. Will I review more of these from Silver Dollar? Yeah. It's a quality product. It's just the grind's just slightly coarse, and it's not even all of the product. There's standouts within the product. Now, for whatever reason, I have none of them in the first grouping here. For whatever reason, Toke decided to launch Toke USA. So now there's Toke USA, which I have no idea what the distribution for that is, alongside of this. But if you see this, this coin is a 5-gram can. Now, it does run a little bit more expensive than some of the products that I got shipped in from England. But, well, this came from England too, actually. But, I mean, if you found it in a store in the United States, it would be a little bit more expensive. Like, one of these jobs only cost me online. It's also 5 grams. They only cost me like $1.44. All right? And it's a perfect size for something that you're not sure about. Okay? You don't want to go buy 25-gram tin of something, because if you don't like it, it'll be taking up space for years to come. But these are 5-gram tins, and they shouldn't retail much more than $2. I would hope not, anyway. And they are around. And if they're not around, if you have a fairly good tobacco store, it would be pretty easy for the owner of that store to order it in. Most distributors now carry this, so I've been told. So, very light vanilla, pleasant, okay? After a number of minutes, the vanilla does subside. But if you get the grind rubbed out a little bit, very pleasant. Nicotine is there. All right? So this has been a review of Silver Dollar Vanilla Snuff. If you see any of the Silver Dollar, especially this one, this would be a good starting flavor, okay, because it still has the tobacco background, and it would give you an idea of what you'd be dealing with, the natural tobacco scent flavor that you'd be dealing with nasal snuff. Okay, so Silver Dollar. This has been the review of. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&Chew Guy. Do take care of yourselves, and as always, God bless. Berg's Dip Reviews has revisited today. I have not watched it yet, but Skull Apple and Dirty Pat Walsh has been uploading music. So check those two guys out. All right. And again, as always, do take care of yourselves, and God bless.